In this section, we will see Event Listener Breakpoints among different breakpoint types. There are different types of breakpoints available in the Developer Tools debugging pane. Let us begin with a very commonly used line breakpoint, also known as line of code breakpoint, which I have already mentioned. When the exact region of the code to debug is known, then we can use line breakpoints. We have already seen this. By clicking near the line number, we can place a line breakpoint, and at the time of execution, the debugger pauses when such breakpoints are encountered like this. To use event listener breakpoints, first let us understand what is an event listener. Event listener is an internal process that waits for any event to occur so that the action which has to execute after that event is fired can be executed. We already have discussed about event listener and add event listener methods inside the DOM sections. The events here can be any key press on the keyboard or the mouse click, single or double click by the users. Add event listener method in JavaScript is an inbuilt function to add event listeners, which we have already seen. But here I have used the on-click event handler directly on the button. So the event listener breakpoints are used when you want to pause the execution on the code that runs after an event is fired. In the debugging pane, under this event listener breakpoints tree, there is a list of different types of events like animation, DOM mutation, that is modification of DOM structure, drag and drop events, device, keyboard events, load events, mouse events, touch and window events, etc. As the addition is performed on the button click event, let me put the event listener breakpoint. I will expand this mouse option. Under that, check the click option. So when I click on the button, the click event is fired and the debugger pauses on it. Expand this parse event listener option and select this set inner HTML option under it. This will pause when it finds inner HTML used. When I click on the button, it will pause on the click event as it is the first breakpoint and now resume the execution. It paused on this line with inner HTML and not here, because if the inputs are empty, it calls this function. And if I resume again, it displays the inner HTML content. If I provide the values and then click, it will pause on this line. So this is how you can place breakpoints for different events like mouse, keyboard, load, window, animation, etc.